There we go. All right, so we did it. We've completed the Legendary Trilogy.
That was really hard. That was like 6 hours of movies.
Compared to how many in Showa? Well, there were like
That,
15 movies.
that
Each.
was like 25 hours of movies.
Like we've done worse to ourselves. And this trilogy was definitely by far the most decent overall.
Oh, do you got an overall like a rating for it?
Well,
Did you do the math already?
no, I didn't do the math, but I'm 90% sure it didn't have any shitty dips.
I mean, I think we got what, like two 30s and a 39, something like that.
Hold on.
God, that list is long.
Yeah, it is. It's a 28, a 31, and a 39. So, 70, 98 divided by 3, so about 33, 32. I think that's still higher.
32 and 2/3.
Okay, so
I mean, that is higher than everything else on the list
yeah, I mean,
by at least 4 points.
yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it blows everything else out of the water. Granted, it only had 3 Godzilla movies. I mean, we didn't look at Kong Skull Island because it wasn't a Godzilla movie, so
I mean, I think they mentioned him in the credits, but that's almost as much Godzilla footage as Godzilla 2014 had. Almost.
what?
The one reference they make to Godzilla at the end of Kong is almost the same amount of Godzilla screen time.
Okay, I don't even remember them mentioning Godzilla at all. So
I think they do. I think they go, "Oh man, big crocodile," and then credits roll.
oh, great.
Something like that. I don't know. I haven't watched Kong Skull Island in 2 years, and I think I was really bored watching it, so I don't think I retained anything.
Yeah, no, I watched it. Probably almost a year ago. It was good. I liked it. Little some of it, I had problems with a couple things, but it wasn't all that bad.
To be fair, though, it is the best Kong movie that I've seen.
Yeah,
I've seen 3.
yeah, no. 3.
Yes.
You've seen the original?
Yes.
5. I don't think I can handle that. So, yeah. So, what is there to even really say? My favorite of the trilogy. Well, my original favorite Godzilla movie was 2014. I like King of the Monsters well enough, but there was something about 2014 that it was good. It was what I liked. It was what I needed. But yeah. Anyway, I'm kind of jumping out of order because I don't know what there is to say.
Yeah,
Like they're inoffensive, good movies.
Yeah.
Like, like this isn't Showa where we got to watch some absolute garbage made for children, and even then, I wouldn't show my children Manila.
Yeah, no, I don't think I would either.
I'm pretty sure they would have nightmares.
I mean, a weird monkey face.
Am I gonna become a Manila if you're not good? But yeah, no, like well, okay, we gotta talk about so the legendary monsterverse is an entire universe. It has its own lore, its own setup, and its own original monsters.
Which are bad.
Every single one. They are all awful.
I feel like if Godzilla weren't part of the universe and if they didn't have all the Toho licensing, it could work. It's just Godzilla and Rodan, all the Toho monsters got really good redesigns.
Yeah, no, they were excellent.
And then you got these monkey arm mammoth.
And the weird Was that the spider one, or was there a different one than the spider one?
There's like 6 different spiders.
Well, yeah, but there was a weird spider one, I think, and the Mutos aren't that good.
But I think if it didn't have all the Toho branding on it, it would be serviceable. Because you wouldn't have to compare it to the better monsters.
Yeah, but if it didn't have Godzilla in it, we wouldn't be watching it, we wouldn't be talking about it.
That's true.
Like, there'd be nothing to talk about.
Look, we somehow talked 40 minutes about Godzilla 2014, and that barely had Godzilla.
Well, that's because there was so much other shit. We always recap the plot. Great. I mean, just because the plot didn't have a lot of Godzilla doesn't mean we're not going to talk about it. A man wrote a bomb. Like, it was a good time. Yeehaw. Anyway, yeah, no, the Mutos in the first one they're alright. Like, and I would personally argue that the reason why the Toho monsters are such standouts is because they're already, like, granted, Toho's monster designs are probably about as hit or miss.
Yeah, I mean, there's like 5 good ones, and then there's Titanosaurus, and Gabara.
Fucking Gabara. And Hedora.
Oh boy, Hedora.
The
and
poop
Evora.
monster. The surf lobster. But, like, but I don't know, there was just something so much less complex about them. Godzilla is a big lizard. Godzilla is a dinosaur with spine, with back plates like a Stegosaurus. They basically mash together a T-Rex slash theropod, large theropod with with a Stegosaurus. That's literally what they did.
Yeah.
And Rodan is just a pterodactyl.
With weird belly spikes.
That's fine.
It's not fine.
Okay, well, no. It looks like zoomed in Velcro. But, and Ghidorah is just a Hydra.
I mean, he's missing a few heads, but yeah.
I mean, like, that's what it's based off of. Even more so in the Legendary verse. And then, like, I look at a Muto, and I don't know what I'm looking at.
Well, it's a big bug.
I mean, there's bug features, and then it's got, like, this sharp, angular face. And
it's an edgy bug.
And it's got these fake eyes, and it's jet black. And I just stare at it, and I'm like, this doesn't look natural. Godzilla looks natural.
You telling me woolly mammoth gorilla arm thing ain't looking
No,
natural?
Nothing about that.
You don't...
Like, it doesn't pull from things that we're...
You don't think a woolly mammoth and a gorilla got it on one day, and then it just fell into a vat of, like, radioactivity and then got big?
Man, I don't fucking know, but, like, the MonsterVerse monsters are just so... They're pulling from too many places, and they're trying to look cool, and while I would personally argue that the Toho monsters were probably made to look cool, they're not, and that kind of lends them to their feeling like animals, or at least like ancient animals.
Not a man in a rubber suit.
I mean, well, obviously it looks like a man in a rubber suit, especially when fucking when Anguirus is on his knees, and you're like, that is just a man on his knees. And when he's walking around, it's just a man on his knees. His feet are even flayed out to the back because in order for him to fit in the suit, but then crawl, he had to be on his knees.
You think that might be an issue, that none of the original MonsterVerses look like they could be a man in a rubber suit?
Well, I mean,
because like Godzilla still looks like he could be a man in a rubber suit.
He's a bit more hunched over. He's definitely not a man.
But he could be.
I guess.
If you like closed one eye and you squinted at it, you could potentially think that was a man in a suit.
I would never think Rodan is a man in a suit, and I don't even know how Ghidorah works.
Well, it's 3 men in a suit.
Awkward.
And like 15 dudes with piano wire.
So, the point I was trying to get to is, like, the bugs are terrible, except for Mothra. Mothra's a good design, regardless of Mothra's win count, which is weirdly high. But that's a conversation for another time. But like, yeah, no, it's just Toho's good monsters are just animal plus like dinosaur plus dinosaur, or just dinosaur, or animal. Well, like, yeah, no, like the only good ones really are like Ghidorah is the only one that's like it's not based off a real thing, but it's based off of a thing and just really that thing.
Yeah.
Whereas the legendary verse is like, I don't know where they're pulling from. I don't know what this is. Why does that woolly mammoth have gorilla arms? Was that necessary? It looks like you photoshopped two things together and went, yes. Well, and someone okayed that.
Well, who's going to be scared of like 100-meter tall woolly mammoth?
Me? That's horrifying!
But you would be more scared of a woolly mammoth that could throw things at you.
Maybe,
it's got range now.
But you'd also be standing there like, how? When? And you look at a Muto and you're like, I think it's a bug, but it looks like a plane?
Yeah, it's a stealth bomber.
It's weird.
It was a bug, got caught in the engine of a stealth bomber.
Oh yeah, like that scene from the anime.
And then they fell into a vat of radioactivity.
And that mutated the stealth bomber?
Yes.
Cool, awesome. I'll take it. Either way, yeah, that's just the main problem I have with the Legendary verse. I do appreciate that the Legendary verse tried, as it went on, to try and... Because the first one was like, people don't relate to giant monsters. Make the monsters the set piece, tease them with it for the entire movie, focus on the humans. And I'm down for that. Except when I've been watching nothing but monster fights up to this point. Nothing really even like 1998 fucking TriStar Godzilla had more Godzilla in it.
Yeah. Yeah, it did.
But by like orders of magnitude. Way more Godzilla. And and it's like, but you want to connect to the man in the rubber suit. Maybe. Or at the very least point and laugh at it.
Yeah,
just watch as Godzilla does a flying kick balancing on his tail because reasons.
Yeah, that's just what you do.
Yeah,
Except this Godzilla. This Godzilla doesn't do that. This Godzilla's like, oh, I'm actually just a big lizard.
Like, and it's so weird because, like, the human characters in 2014 are boring, bland, non-comedic, and their children are mutants.
Yeah, those are going to become the next giant monsters.
Clearly. And what's weird is that as they shrank the human factor, it like in some ways it got better, in some ways it got worse. We got Screamy Man in King of the Monsters.
Yeah.
All he did was yell.
Did we ever learn that guy's name?
I don't fucking remember. He's he's the director. I remember his daughter's name because she shares the name with someone I've been talking to at work. Like, that's it. That's all I got. Maddie's dad. That's what I got.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And we got to see the human side of Godzilla, and it was like, all right. And there was a lot of fighting, sort of.
I mean, there was more than in 2014.
We saw Godzilla, like, almost right away. And we got a fight between Ghidorah and Godzilla, like, really early, and got to watch it.
Yeah, instead of, closing the doors on us and being like, but what are the people doing?
We were allowed to witness the fight, instead of, like, catching bits and pieces of it on TV.
Yeah, the only thing I had to complain about for King of the Monsters is it's all dark. Like the first half of the fights are all dark, and then there's the one fight with Rodan and Ghidorah that's not dark.
But it's like at dusk.
But like, there's not really a fight there either. They just kind of ram each other.
Yeah, they bump into each other, and then the oxygen destroyer goes off or something.
And then it goes back to Godzilla versus Ghidorah, but at night. And it's just like, no, stop it.
It's like, it doesn't need to be dark.
Your Godzilla looks fine. Be proud of it.
Your Godzilla looks amazing. Stop putting it at low light. Like, the brightest point of that entire movie was when they went to set off the nuke for him. That's the brightest point with a monster in it.
I don't know, Ghidorah or Rodan coming up a volcano was pretty bright.
It was, but it was still, like, dusky.
I thought it was like, oh yeah, I guess.
And that might have been because of the volcano. I really don't know. No, like, Godzilla at the temple was, like, the brightest it ever got. And,
I don't know, when Godzilla was on fire, it was kind of bright.
I mean, yes, but he was kind of obscured by his own explosion. So, whatever. He also ate Ghidorah, which is, like, half ate Ghidorah. Like, more or less just burned him, really.
He got some of that Ghidorah juice inside of him.
A little bit.
It was a Slurpee.
It was gross.
He was pulling a Kong.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I don't feel like there's like nothing to talk about. Like, it's really sad. There's nothing to point and laugh at. There's nothing to really talk about. The plots are whatever until we get to Godzilla vs. Kong, which feels like a real monster movie. Like a monster movie that I'm used to.
Yeah. Yeah, because I put the fights in the daytime, and then there's enough of them.
There's characters, but we don't give a shit about them, and the movie kind of doesn't either.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
We have Bernie.
Good old Bernie.
Bernie is a blinding ray of light in this deep, vast darkness of character. Good God. Bernie's like only amazing because of his contrast with the rest of the cast.
Yeah, they kind of pulled him out from, like, I want to say a different, like, Godzilla series.
He comes out of nowhere, and he's this weirdo conspiracy theorist dork who's a tech at Apex, and fucking weirds a security dude out by just constantly talking to him.
Look, he made hand lotion at home.
Yeah, no, and didn't want him to eat an apple because bio-trackers or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, no, and
He's a man who doesn't trust tap water.
and showers himself in bleach to destroy bio-trackers that apparently exist. I like that we never acknowledge whether any of Bernie's bullshit is real.
It's real to him, and that's all that matters.
It's so ridiculous. But, yeah, no. The main characters of this movie are Godzilla and Kong. Mainly Kong.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time with Kong.
Which I don't mind. Like, we got a lot of time with Godzilla in King of the Monsters.
Yeah.
We basically bro-fisted him with a nuke.
After booping the snoot.
Indeed. and it's like, no, Godzilla has compassion for humanity until they start building giant monsters.
To be fair, I don't think he actually like killed anybody but the building. I think they were like, hey.
No, they said people died.
Well, yeah, but like they were in the way of the building.
But he did kill people.
Yeah,
He
but
blew
not
up
not
planes.
intentionally.
I don't know.
Like if they had just all backed off, like got like 20 feet away from the building.
Okay, I guess, but Godzilla didn't care whether there were people in it. He was like, this fucking Ghidorah aura that I'm feeling needs to fucking go. Your fucking fake kaiju energy is pissing me off. Which is apparently also a mechanic that gets Kong and Godzilla fighting each other.
Well, yeah, because like you can just sense when somebody comes. You can sense when your mortal enemy gets in the pool with you. Like you're in the deep end and your mortal enemy's getting in like the shallow part, and you stop what you're doing and you're like, that fucker.
He's on a boat. Like what? But
He's got one of those pool floaties. I hate it.
But like one of the best parts of this movie is that Kong is. To call him the underdog would be understating his power level in comparison to Godzilla. He has no chance.
Yeah, Godzilla can just punch a hole through the planet.
With his breath.
Kong's got an axe.
I'm gonna stand here and I'm gonna drill a hole to the center of the earth.
In like 5 minutes.
If that.
It's a very short time.
It's ridiculous.
It's also big enough for Kong to fit through.
Yeah, just climb for reasons. It really is just Deus Ex Machina. We need Kong to get to Hong Kong. How do we do it? I don't know. Godzilla burns a hole and then walks away from it.
Well, yeah, he's letting Kong come out.
But like the
sportsmanship.
But what I love is that like they scream at each other through the hole. Like they both look down the hole and they're yelling at each other, and it's like you can't see each other.
No, it's fine. It's like looking through a straw.
It's fucking dumb. Yeah, I can't see. I can't understand shit through a straw half the time. But yeah, no. Yeah, so Kong has his adventures and gets his ass whooped in the first fight, and even on the aircraft carrier, it's like, nah, you didn't really have it.
You got a few good punches in, but like Godzilla damn near drowned you.
Yeah, and then in Hong Kong, he's got the axe, which helps, but ultimately is pointless.
Yeah, you got a few good punches and Godzilla almost drowned you again.
Not even drowned, like fucking crushed his chest in and went, you gonna fucking submit? No. And they both scream at each other again. But
all that fish.
Ew.
All that fish breath.
That's probably why I was so angry. You've been eating my fish. I don't even know if Godzilla eats. I'm surprised Kong eats.
Well, Godzilla probably just swims with his mouth open, like a whale.
A whale would be nothing.
Well, no, like that's what whales do, is they just swim with their mouths open. And,
oh, yeah.
And that's how they, get their fish.
Yeah, but
Godzilla probably just does that too. And
But it's implied that Godzilla, feeds on radiation, whereas Kong apparently actually eats.
Well, you can radiate a fish. You just, put it on a stick. Like, Godzilla just pulls out a tree, puts it on a stick, and then blows on it like a marshmallow. And now it's a radiated fish, and he just eats it.
But he put the... Anyway, it's
a small tree.
It's weird.
He's got a little campfire down there. It's just what he does.
I don't know. Either way, so Kong gets trashed.
Can you believe there were people who were like, "Oh, this is an even matchup. Oh, Kong's gonna win this fight."
I half expected it, to be honest, but I expected it to be like it wasn't. It was never gonna be even. Like Godzilla is absurdly powerful. Even by the time we got to like 2014 was huge, and then King of the Monsters was even more ridiculous. It was just like you can't compare to this. He is a he is a battery of radiation. Kong is just a giant gorilla.
Yeah, people thought it was gonna be a fair matchup. I'm like, you don't know anything about these two, do you?
No.
You're just like, oh well, he's a big monkey and he's been around for 100 years. So I mean,
No. Instead, it was. It's anyway. I keep wanting to skip forward to make a point, but I need to bring up Mechagodzilla. Also, Mecha King Ghidorah.
yes.
It's King Ghidorah's ghost inside of Mechagodzilla. So we have Ghost Ghidorah, Mecha version,
Mecha Ghost Ghidorah.
Mecha Ghost Ghidorah,
Or Ghost Mecha Ghidorah.
Chaos Ghidorah, or whatever the fucking Godzilla name was.
Agent of Chaos.
Agent of Chaos. Yeah, so Ghidorah is like, I don't know, Ghidorah is just like evil, I guess. And
As he does.
and they're using Ghidorah's skull to like as like a pass through to human control Mechagodzilla, but that backfires when they combine the kaiju energy source, and apparently that just awakens Ghidorah's latent.
Well, Ghidorah was a psychic, didn't you? They even brought it up like Ghidorah had telepathy. That's how he could communicate with his other heads. They said that was a throwaway line.
In what?
In vs. Kong.
I don't believe you.
Bernie says it. He's like, yeah, they could use telepathy to communicate hundreds of meters or some nonsense.
Okay,
like that.
I don't believe what Bernie says, to be perfectly honest. I think Bernie is full of shit.
Bernie was never wrong.
That is debatable. But yeah, so Ghidorah takes over Mechagodzilla, bursts out of the mountain, and goes, round 2.
And Godzilla's like, oh, hell no.
After having completely floored King Kong and more or less killed him. Not completely, but he was gonna die. Goes to fight Mechagodzilla, and it is not a contest. Whereas King Kong was to Godzilla, Godzilla is to Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, I don't know why Mechagodzilla's so goddamn powerful.
I mean, it was made to fight Godzilla. It makes sense.
Still.
They would make it that strong.
I mean, I guess you're not wrong. Like, all the other Mechagodzillas have kind of put Godzilla to shame, save for Kiryu, but, like...
Yeah, well... Kind of? I mean...
in Mechagodzilla City, that one. No, that one was almost about to kill him. Well, Godzilla usually only beats Mechagodzilla through outside help.
Or gaining magnet powers, because let's not pretend that...
That was from Zeus, outside help.
Let's not pretend that King Caesar did anything.
He was there. He was there to get his ass kicked.
It made Mechagodzilla tired? Like,
he was there to be the hype man for Mechagodzilla, to show how powerful he was, that he could take down Godzilla and this other guy.
Yeah.
And then, like, Godzilla had no chance against fucking Mechagodzilla 2 until it shut down. Sure, Titanosaurus was there, but, like... Again, he was still getting his ass kicked.
Well, yeah, no, that was a shit. That was a shit stomp.
And then Super Mechagodzilla blew out his ass brain.
With the help of a psychic, but it was pretty much not in his favor until Rodan.
Yeah, and then he had to get outside help from Rodan and just absorb his radiation energy or some nonsense to grow his ass brain back.
Fucking no. Get the spiral beam from that shit.
And then Kiryu, he just doesn't really care about him. Like, Kiryu doesn't really do anything. He gets his, like, blade out of him once, and then...
I mean, he technically beats him the second time around.
Well, yeah.
With the help of the Mothra babies.
Wait, are you saying Kiryu beats him, or you saying Godzilla beats Kiryu?
Kiryu technically beats Godzilla, but with Mothra baby help. Because
I forgot how Tokyo SOS ended.
They cocoon him, and Kiryu takes him to the bottom of the ocean.
Oh yeah, that's right. They're just like, well, you stay in the water now.
Yeah.
Because I remember how the first one ends. He just takes an absolute zero and just is like, whatever.
No, I'm good.
But yeah, no, like Godzilla usually loses to Mechagodzilla unless he's got outside help.
Yeah.
So I guess that makes sense that the apex Mechagodzilla would be stronger than he is. But yeah, and then they team up, and Godzilla again gets outside help to Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, no, I mean Godzilla kind of helps, but
Godzilla's just a battery. He charges up the axe, and then Kong does all the work.
Yeah, pretty much. But we do need to talk about Mechagodzilla. Because this is the only Mechagodzilla that's actually cool.
I can't believe you disrespect Mechagodzilla City like that.
There was nothing cool about that.
It was a city. It had balls.
There was nothing cool
It had big old energy balls or something. I don't know what the balls were for.
I don't care.
It had streets.
Wow.
The rent was to die for.
Literally.
Yeah, it was great.
No.
You could just climb in the Mechagodzilla and become the Mechagodzilla. Wouldn't you want to become the Mechagodzilla?
No. No, that's
Give up, sacrifice your individuality to become part of the Mechagodzilla.
Nope, I'm good. That Mechagodzilla was lame as fuck. Yeah, no. So this one has like shockwave punches. It has rocket propulsion, but like it uses it to do melee attacks. It has a beam that is stronger than the beam that pierces the earth. Because we're shown that beam clash.
Yeah, that beam clash is great.
It is absurd. Mechagodzilla is a planet destroyer. It just didn't get the chance.
Yeah, if it had fought either of them separately, it would have crushed both of them.
Yeah, and then God knows what else it would have done.
Dang, can we get a what if movie? Just Mechagodzilla going on a rampage. They had to make up a bigger Mechagodzilla.
No, they just would have done the satellite separation thing. Even though that turned out to just be like a temporary stop.
Yeah, for like half a second.
And it took a supercharged Godzilla scale to basically turn into a lightsaber and slice it apart. I don't know if human weapons would have ever worked, if I'm being honest.
You see what would happen is they'd punch a hole in the fabric of reality, and then Ghost Ghidorah from the anime would show up.
Oh, God.
And then he would bend the gravity around Ghost Mechagodzilla.
It's biting him, but we can't see it. Kill me now. Yeah, so unfortunately it's been a little bit. We didn't get to do the wrap-up immediately after. But, because I'm trying to, like, recall the moves that, like, Mechagodzilla used. And, like, it was all amazing. It was really good fighting, and I think it's literally the only movie that got a 10 for Monster Combat, because it was all really good. Like,
yeah, that sounds about right.
Everybody did something cool.
Kong threw a discus. You don't remember that, do you?
Vaguely.
It's in the second round. He finds this like disc-shaped building thing.
Oh god, yeah.
And he just picks her up and he does like a 360 spin, and Godzilla's like, "Ah, shit, what's that?" And he beams that instead, and then Kong does a thing.
Oh lord, I still remember the Kong sneak attack.
Where he throws the crane.
It's fucking dumb.
No, it's great.
Yet Godzilla's smart enough to charge the axe.
Yeah, that one actually doesn't make all that much.
No,
I mean,
like,
he knew that it could charge. He could charge the axe
from doing it, but he didn't know that charging the axe would just make it a laser axe. Like
To be fair, the one time he did charge the axe, bopped him on the head, and it exploded. That could have been what he was thinking it was going to happen. It was just going to explode again.
I guess. But yeah, no, like, I don't know. There were certain inconsistencies that... And then there was that moron saying that round 2 goes to Kong. And, oh boy, did it not. Like, as they were both on the ground, like...
Well, you know, it's one of those, No, I mean... I don't know.
Yeah.
It's really dumb.
Yeah, no, it was incredibly stupid.
And then, yeah, like, the next scene, it just proceeds to be like, oh, here's Godzilla stomping Kong again.
Yeah, no, just on his chest, just caving his chest in. It's ridiculous. But yeah, no, the slice up with the axe is fucking hype. The whole tussle with the both of them, where they fucking throw Mechagodzilla into a building. Mechagodzilla's like, why would this do anything? I'm made of metal harder than all of this.
No, it's fine. It might ding him up or something. It'll scratch up his paint job, and Ghost Mechagodzilla will be all like, "No, am I right?"
Oh man, that should have been the way that Mechagodzilla got defeated if he killed Kong and Godzilla, just rust, because he wasn't painted. He was just raw metal.
I mean, they were planning on painting him, probably.
Probably give him a nice sick paint job with like flames. And paint him red so he goes faster. Anyway.
I was thinking paint him kind of like a dark green to pretend to be Godzilla.
Yeah, no, he should have pulled a fake Godzilla, and then we could have had 2014. We could have had Legendary's Godzilla pop out of a factory.
That would have been great.
But there wouldn't have been any questions because we knew that this Godzilla could literally drill a hole through the earth. So we would have known exactly how he got there.
I would like to see it as like just his head is in the building and his ass is just hanging out. And everybody's just surprised that he was in there after the building is gone.
No, like, I want to see, like, Mechagodzilla staring at it, and, like, there's this weird lump, and there's a weird, like, tail coming out, and you're like, really? That would have been great. But yeah, Legendary verse, it gets good at King of the Monsters, and it gets amazing at Godzilla vs. Kong, where we almost gave it as good of a score as
it got 4th place.
Yeah, it almost
It almost beat a Showa movie.
beat most of them.
I mean, I think it beat all of them except for one.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know.
Hey, we got almost 40 minutes out of this, despite not really knowing what to talk about, so...
Yeah, it's just not a lot to say. So, thanks for joining us. Last will be the grand finale.
Alright, see you guys later.
See ya.